Mel,
Brandon,
good to see you.
good to see you, my friend.
Like I hadn't seen you in a while.
I know it's been a while. It's all a new ball game. Every day is a new damn day, and this is a perfect example. This is why it's a new day. After today, and this what I just saw, my head is completely empty.
Your mind is blown.
My mind is blown. There's nothing left out. I'm several IQ points down from where I was, and that's a loss. I can't afford very many of them.
So we just got back from the candidate forum for the city commissioners that the Chamber of Commerce put on, and they did live stream it. I checked while we were there.
Did?
Yeah, we were there live, but they did live stream it.
I didn't see a camera set up.
Yeah, Paisley had one set up right front and dead in center.
Really?
And I looked at like 7:20, and this is I want to point out some statistics here, Mel, because kind of. So there's 12,000 citizens in Ark City.
Yeah.
There was about 38 citizens there, and then there's some
county.
city staff and some other folks that nearly got you to 50. Probably of those folks there, most of them were family members, friends, or otherwise of the candidates that were up on the board. And then when I logged in at 7:20, there was 13 viewers, and then when I logged in during the closing statements, there was 26 viewers. So, despite all our efforts, people just don't give that much damn about city business. I mean, it's pathetic, really.
So,
Well, we're here to inform you.
well, so what are you saying? What we're doing is pointless?
No, it's extremely valuable.
So they depend on us and don't come to those meetings.
That's right.
I get it now.
So anyhow, we're going to give you a quick rundown, kind of thing, how it went. I thought, I'm going to give you my quick 2 cents, but there wasn't no big revelations tonight. It was as expected, especially if you ever go to any city meetings or you know any of these candidates, but no big standouters in my opinion. I thought 3 of the 4 were, there's only 3 spots, and there's clearly 3 winners out of tonight's deal, and Dwayne Eastman was the guy that fell the shortest by a mile, but
And, the scary thing is,
he's already elected.
he's running the city. What the hell? This is unbelievable.
He couldn't remember the questions.
And then he got them wrong. I thought Travis Pierman stood out. I like what he had to say.
He did hit a couple good points.
His diction was good, and he was. And I noticed he briefed a little bit. He wasn't so windy as he was when he spoke in the past. So he got his point across, and then.
Yeah, he definitely did well. One of the things I thought that he really touched on was the common man. And I know Kenyon is that person.
Yeah.
She is.
Yep.
She meets the regular statistic of an Ark Cityan, but he actually touched on it. He's like, guys, we're not a real wealthy town. We're fairly poor, as a matter of fact. We got to live within our means. We got to cut some taxes. We got to do some things like that. And you're right. He did pretty well.
And breaching the tax deal, nobody else did. I think he's the one that maybe has a realistic point of view when you're going from the outside in. When he sees Ark City as somebody coming into it, we've been here, we've got our nose stuck in it for many years, and he sees it the way with some clarity, having been somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's got to be like a dream come true coming here from L.A.
I don't know. The homeless are getting $30,000 a year there, so.
And they get a shit on the sidewalks.
Shit on the sidewalks.
You don't even got to find a restaurant.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, so what do you mean? I mean, to each his own, I guess. But, the standout to me was Travis and Kenyon. Kenyon carried her own weight. It was quite obvious she carried her own weight.
You know what her big shine was tonight?
What's that?
2 things, I thought. She capitalized on being approachable, which she can back that up all day long.
Boy, she really can.
People that don't know her because she is so approachable, and anybody that asks her a question, she always gets back to them, and she's always willing to help, and that is one thing that she can always hang her hat on. And then the other thing too about the codes, Scotty made a good point, I thought, when they were talking about how they're going to do housing development, what can we do to get more housing, and prior to that there was discussion, Travis I think brought up about all the empty buildings downtown, and Scotty was like, well, maybe we ought to occupy, create some lofts and stuff like that, and Kenyon clearly pointed out, well, you can't do that because our codes don't allow it. Yeah. And maybe these codes that we blanketly adopt.
Well, and they start talking about circumventing the codes to let people in, but that's what caused all these problems in the first place, was circumventing the codes. Those buildings are built so poorly downtown. The reality is, strike a match in a specific building or a strategically located building, and the fire would breach the next building over, and it wouldn't stop till it got to a street. The only firewall is the 60 or 80 foot of street in between the buildings. Other than that, they're fire's going to run right through them. Which Arc City's already burnt down 3 times before, so it's nothing new here. And they still didn't learn their lesson. That's why the thought of occupying these upstairs buildings is just not a thing. It's just not a doable thing.
It's not economical either. I mean, anybody that's tried to remodel an old piece of crap building knows it costs a ton of money.
And the collision between private enterprise, private money, private everything, and the city. The collision point where, look, this is what we want to do, but you won't let us because of this code or that code, or you hamstring us, or you tie our hands, or you make it so economically unfeasible that we just have to do something else. And that is the cause and effect of civilization. But you can't communally live without some kind of order and law.
So the other one I thought was kind of interesting, speaking of codes, Ken Heriter was there tonight, and Ken was, he's been involved with the commission for the last several years since they built that dollar store there in front of his house on First Street.
Yeah, let's don't repeat that again. Let's don't repeat that mistake again.
Well, and then we did that with Burger King, and I thought Scotty actually took credit for saying, yeah, I was the one that put the Burger King there.
Yeah, like it was a feather in his cap.
Well, and I know Ken, and I know that some of them other guys sat there and told him, man, this is going to impact our house, our homes, our livelihood. But Travis Pierman had a pretty good point too.
He did.
He's like, you got to think a little further than 5 years down the road when you purchase a home. And it is a tough situation, but Travis is somewhat right.
Well, he is right, but then that goes back to the thing where they talked about what do you think about first viewing of some of these laws and ordinances. And everyone says, we should view them twice. Scotty,
No, not everybody said that.
No, okay, I'm sorry.
Dwayne said...
No, Dwayne said that we usually do look at them twice, which is a bald-faced
lie.
Well,
he didn't even understand the question. He thought we were talking about bringing new businesses.
That's right.
And that wasn't the question at all. It was talking about new business in front of the commission.
New business in front of the commission.
And God, I was like, come on, Dwayne, you're in these meetings, you're running our damn town. Think a little bit.
And Scotty Rogers, I'm sitting on a board with him. I'm sitting on the Planning Commission board, Board of Zoning Appeals and Planning Commission. I'm sitting on that board, and they're passing stuff on first viewing, saying, hey, we need to stop on it.
Well, apparently he's changed his mind.
Well, after the fact, everybody's already done it.
But now...
he already caused the damage, so I was like, ooh, well...
But Mel, now he said it. I think that's a good practice. And so now...
For him to own what he said or own what he did?
Well, I'm saying he just said tonight, I think it's a good practice to get a first view and look at it. So
I like to preach it, but I don't practice it. That's what he said to me.
Well, you're missing the point.
Oh,
if you're not going to hold him accountable, I will. He said it. So he's going to have to openly say, "Well, I changed my view again." I thought he did a good job. Travis did a good job, and Canyon did a good job as well. But Dwayne, I don't know, man. He was off tonight. He fell completely short.
I just can't stand Dwayne.
I know he's your buddy and all, but...
Well, he might be a great guy to go... What would he do what would a guy like that do for fun?
Well, a retired railroader, I'm pretty sure they drink coffee and eat donuts.
Eat donuts, watch TV. I don't think
and he sits in Nick's office. You heard how much? He was like a spokesperson for city staff and city manager tonight.
Oh my God! When I was in there, it took me a year to figure out if staff endorses it, don't do it, or really give it a second or third look over.
And I'm not bashing our staff by any means, but I just thought it was so funny that he's like, oh yeah, everything the staff says, I'm right there.
I'm going to do it. If staff recommends it, by God, I'm on board with it. But we can't have guys like that running this stuff. We just can't do it. And I think, as much as I do not like Scotty Rogers for his position he took when I was on the Board of Zoning Appeals with him. And they made sure that I got off that board real quick. And I don't like that. I think Scotty he wants to do good, but I think he's horribly misdirected by some of the stuff that he hears, or the people he hangs around, which are proponents to this ridiculous administration.
But did you hear him say, sometimes it's good to ask folks that don't always agree with you?
Well, who did he ever ask that didn't agree with him? He's never asked.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what he said tonight.
When I did give him my opinion and asked for my opinion, they made sure the next day I was off that board.
Yeah, Jay fired your ass. You're going down, coon.
God, dear God.
No, you're out of here.
It's so embarrassing. It's so damn embarrassing. I couldn't even stay on a little board of nothingness in a town of nothing. I couldn't even be on that board.
Maybe they'll let you rake the dirt roads or something.
We got a lot of dirt roads
in the town. You know, they started talking about that very first question was about Etnazoa, and I don't know what you guys know about me and Etnazoa, but I think it's a crock of crap.
Oh dear God! Why would you say, well, this is our shining light, and here you are pooping on it? It's
what have they found? One little cannonball?
No. They got a 5-gallon bucket of rocks and shit. That's all Etnazoa. You don't know what it's not. You can't prove it. It's not. I'll tell you that.
I bet there's some golf balls out there they found too in some of those fields. But
did you see the cannonballs they found?
No. How many were there?
There was, I think, 2. Did you see them though?
No. How big were they?
Big of my baby fingernail. It was like grape shot or something. They had this big wild story about, the Spanish brought the cannons up and they lined them up on this bluff and the Indians were over here. And, nobody has no idea. It's all just a wild bullshit guess. But
so, I thought
sorry for the cussing people.
Yeah.
For you youngins out there.
Yeah, we apologize.
Cover your ears.
But no, here was the thing. They brought that up like this was going to be the next thing for our city. And I realized the chamber and the museum and the convention and visitor bureau, you guys got to push this stuff. I get it. That's the only thing we got to hang our hat on.
They want to hang their hat on that stuff, but yet, when's the last time the Chamber of Commerce knocked at your door and said, "Hey, let's come into the fold so we can."
They haven't. But
I've been there 19 years, and they've never said,
"How can we help you?
Can I help you with anything? Would you like to be a member?" Of course, what they're thinking of, well, if he's a member of our club, I wouldn't join it.
Well, I remember when I was on the commission, they come in there asking for money and talking about all this recruitment.
All this stuff they're going to do.
And Chad Giles, which him and I rarely seen eye to eye when we was on the commission together, but he goes, "Well, I'm not sure how good of a job you guys really do. My office is literally right across the street, and nobody's ever knocked on my door to ask me to be a chamber member." And he'd been there for a couple years or something. I thought that was funny, but
Collie First the same way.
So back to that Etnazoa deal. So Canyon started. She was the one that fielded the first question.
Yep.
And she started talking about infrastructure, and I thought she was off. I'm like, they're asking about Etnazoa and what you're going to do to, foster Etnazoa and be a staple for our community. And she started talking about infrastructure, and after she started talking, I'm like, she's on to. She brought up a really good point because
we're worried about it. Yeah.
You got to have good infrastructure in our town because if you don't, nothing else matters. And
we're worried about this. Well, it's kind of which leads directly to another point when they're asking about the 150 years from now, and Dwayne said, "Yeah, we're planning that celebration already."
I think he was talking about the city's 150-year anniversary.
But they weren't. They were talking about what's going to happen to the city in 10, 20, 30, 40, 150 years. What's going to happen to the city? Not what's the party going to be like. But Dwayne is so in outer space, like well, my name's Dwayne Eastman. Mel calls me Dead Wayne. I don't like that. I don't like Mel.
I'm sure he doesn't like either of us, but he is your buddy.
Well, I tell you, he certainly is a wealth of material for us to talk about on a regular basis. And I don't know why I would waste any time on him whatsoever. God, it's so easy. Such an easy target. So it's almost embarrassing that you'd pick on a cripple.
So, real quick, you got anything else on this commission form? I mean, it was pretty as predicted, right? Dwayne did the worst, and the other three did fairly well. And
yeah, Dwayne, and how anybody could allow him back in there to run anything is just
beyond us.
I'd throw up my hands.
And I can't believe he's in there, quite frankly. I mean, after
he got in there because I don't think he hadn't opened his mouth yet. Nobody knew.
Well,
but now the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, it's out of the bag.
So anybody that votes for him should hang their head or run out of. You're just a moron.
So here on real quick. So I want to talk about something else. So we had a little quick meeting 2 nights ago, right?
Yep.
And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but we asked you viewers to get out, share some of our concern on them wanting to put this 3-lane road and push it through. And I'm telling you guys, I've got to say it helped to show up and it helped to voice your opinions because they didn't pass it. Jay and Kenyon and who else was the December?
Jay Kenyon and Jim Cyber.
And those three is what kept that 3-lane road from going forward on Wednesday at noon. And I'm telling you guys, you got to pay attention to this stuff because they were getting ready to put it through, and it had them three not descended that, and mostly Jim and Kenyon.
And pay attention to which way these guys are voting.
And Dwayne voted for it. I'm just throwing that out there. He voted to put that 3-lane road through there and spend $5.2 million in a matter of moments.
No, he wasn't spending 5.2. We were actually getting $3 million to do this.
$3 million free dollars, guys. I mean, if they're going to give us $3 million free dollars,
they're giving us $3 million to do this. I mean, how can you go wrong with that scenario? And even the numbers that, and did they, this study was done like in 2008 or 2009 or something, and they had a big map of all the moving and all the stuff. And at that time, they were saying, "Oh, it's a great idea, but my gosh, we can't afford it." Plus, the encroachment on the businesses was just horrible. Some of them were actually shutting the business
I can't
down.
believe. I mean, and so Nick, guys, I'm just telling you, City Manager Hernandez, he was lividly shaken and pissed off at, I assume, mostly me because I brought that up and put it out there, and he the whole time he defended his position on, he went through a whole list of items where he had talked about it previously, and they said new business, and I'm not just throwing this in your lap, and I will say he was visibly shaken and mad at me, and mostly probably because I portrayed it as it was absolutely new business, and it was for the sake that this was the first time they got to see the numbers and actually vote on the fact that they're going to have to spend $5.2 million.
Well, that part of it, but the part that the misleading email that
where we're just going to discuss it.
Criminal act.
That was criminal, and he shouldn't have done that. But he did make one point that I thought was interesting, and I'm going to give Nick some kudos on this. He said, the first thing he said was, "Staff isn't recommending this. I'm not recommending this. This is all on you, commissioners." And if you'd started out every meeting like that, you and I wouldn't have that many problems.
But you know how many times it says staff recommended? Now, did he change his tune after the fact, after we unloaded on him? Did he change his tune then?
Yeah.
Or he had already decided that this is not my idea? Because it wasn't his idea. Why did he push it so damn hard and it had to be done right? Now, when they've known about it,
here was his other point,
months,
and I'm giving him.
In fact, it comes up every year. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due.
That's fine.
One other thing he said, he goes, "It is my job as a city manager. We have a grant opportunity where the state's got $50 million, and the deadline is October 11th, or whatever that date was. I think it was 11th. And as a city manager, I've got to present that to you commissioners. Now, where I think you fell short is you could have simply said, this isn't realistic. We don't have near enough time to do this, but we need to be prepared for the next time a grant comes available, to have all our ducks in a row. That way, when next time a grant comes available, we can jump on it.
In a work session, in a normal regular work session. But let's postpone. Let's forego the work sessions because of whatever reason, and then pull this stuff in the middle of the week. So
the whole damn thing just stunk. But Nick, that's just some feedback. Giving some credit.
Is there any truth to it possibly was intentionally misleading so it would have less attendance? Is that any possibility of that?
I don't think it was that, but I think he had his hopes set so high on getting this done, and partially probably because it's been in the looms for so long. They've been talking about it and tabling it and talking about it and tabling it, and whether it's the commissioner's fault or the city manager's fault, never getting a consensus on that and about what it's going to cost prior to a grant coming available. I don't know.
But the grant comes available 2 or 3 times a year, so this is not like, and the money's always potentially there. It depends where the state's at as far as within their budget. Here's our grant time. Here's the money we have earmarked. It's in. We can start sending it out. So the state happens every year, or more than once a year. But now back to one more crucial point. Where did the $6 million come from?
Where the dollars?
Who decided on $6 million was inadequate number to widen that thing?
They had some proposals.
Interesting. I'd like to see those because
it's in the packet.
I'm not tracking. I didn't read the packet. I didn't know there was a packet. I had
no
idea there was.
Interestingly enough,
in fact, when I looked, there wasn't a packet.
Commissioner Ginger and Jim Seibert, they didn't get their packet until we got to the meeting at noon. Leslie was printing them out and handing them to them. So that anybody there would have been foolish to vote for that.
So that's why Dwayne wants to pass everything on first look because he doesn't have to read the packet.
Doesn't have to read the packet then.
Yeah.
Bam.
Good for him.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Here's my endorsement, guys, and I want to talk more about this because elections are so crucial in our little dirt town. But they got to get Eastman out of there. It is evident tonight. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Too much of risk.
He's a risk for
This is important stuff. This is important stuff, and to be taken by what I label as a buffoon. I mean, it's bad enough the people that are the white elitist wannabes. Those are bad enough.
So here's my endorsement. Vote Pearman, vote Kenyon, vote Scotty.
Yeah.
It's really where it's at.
Yep.
And hopefully
For the
next
salvation of the town.
hopefully next election we'll have a few more people to choose from too.
Oh, and plus there was only 4 people running, which is a little bit disturbing.
Well, we're better than Winfield though. Sometimes they don't even have enough people to run fill their seats.
Yeah, Winfield has all these little towns have the same problem. This is not unique to anybody.
It's every little dirt town.
Every little town, and maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe it's always been that way. But it seems like when guys like Lou Bryant, for instance, or some of the founding fathers, which these multi-generational guys, which their forefathers created this wealth out of nothingness. This place was just an empty field with not even a tree.
I am glad to see Scotty running in the sense that he's youthful.
Scotty Roger, what?
He's youthful. He's a younger guy. Him and Travis are both younger guys.
What? Since when being young have any value added?
Because all you old guys just, you do old guy things.
We already screwed up a lot of stuff. We know what not to do again. You people are still screwing stuff up to this day.
You'll wise up. You'll wise up.
I'll wise up with the. Actually, you can be taught tricks or something. Well, I will wise up. I will wise up.
Where'd our little thing go? Oh yeah, here it is. Who's got this figured out? Me or you? Is it the old guy or the young guy?
Who brought the puzzle in the first place? Me or you?
I don't know. Showed up here.
Oh, how convenient. How convenient. Oh, your lack of knowledge is telling of your age. You're already starting to set in
we got to go.
Denial. We do.
No more. Episode 17, I think. Signing off, right? 17?
Yes, it's 17.
17. Signing off.
Ciao.